been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is High Pride and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about Clara today. And more importantly, we're going to be talking about the two characters that I feel like are very, very important to enable her playstyle. One, I would say, is pretty much essential. The other character is just somebody that I like to use because I feel like they enable her playstyle very, very well. So we're going to go over her kit really quick because I feel like it's pretty essential to know what she does and why these characters are important for Clara. So I'm going to go over her talent first because this is the bread and butter. This is the main deal of her kit that allows the playstyle to be effective, which is basically she's going to take 10% less damage from all enemies that attack Clara, and then Svarog will mark the enemies that attack Clara and deal physical damage to them, right? This is important because every enemy marked when you use your skill will get double damage from the skill. So it's pretty much let Clara get attacked by every enemy, and then when Clara's turn comes around, you skill, dealing a whole bunch of damage. Very, very good. Then we go into her ultimate, which obviously enables her playstyle even more by reducing the damage she takes by an extra 16%, and also has increased chances of being attacked by the enemy for 2 turns. Very, very important. As well as Svarog's counter will be enhanced. It'll deal more damage, and on top of that, deal 50% damage to adjacent enemies. So it does AoE, which is very, very good, and that can last for 2 counters. So now we're going to go over the characters that I feel like best help enable this playstyle. All right, guys, so the first character we're going to go over today is March 7th. Now, Clara is a character that you can just put in any team. She'll do what she does. When she gets attacked, she'll counter. When an ally gets attacked while her ultimate is up, she'll counter again. So she's a fairly self-sufficient character, but to get the most out of her kit and to get the most out of that character, you're going to want to put March 7th on the team. And the main reason why is her skill, right? So you can put a shield on an ally that scales off March 7th's defense for 3 turns. Very, very good for a character that wants to get attacked. But this to me is the bigger part. So if the ally's current HP is above 30%, it greatly increases the chance of enemies attacking that ally. I think that is essential for a character that wants to be attacked. So you throw this shield on Clara, keep her HP above 30%. It'll take the aggro from the enemies. You throw on Clara's ultimate. She gets more aggro from the enemies. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it just makes it more likely for Clara to get attacked. So that is pretty essential. As well as March 7th is just a really good character. You got the debuff remove, which is good for the entire team, as well as Clara. If you need to take debuffs off her, you can do that. But you're mainly using this for the taunt aspect. And then, of course, in certain like simulated universe teams, and simulated universe buffs, if you're going for like a follow-up attack team, you can do that because the counter from Clara counts as a follow-up attack, as well as March 7th attack also counts as a follow-up attack, so you can buff those with follow-up attack buffs from the simulated universe, so you can do that. But this is mainly the reason why you run March 7th. I think they're a perfect pair, a match made in heaven, and anytime you're going to run Clara to get the most out of Clara, you're going to want to run March 7th. Alright guys, so the second character that we're going to go over in this video is going to be Ting Yun. Now, I don't think Ting Yun's a necessity for Clara. I do think that March 7th is pretty much necessary for the playstyle of Clara. If you're going to run Clara, you're going to run March 7th. I think that's a no-brainer. But Ting Yun's not necessary for the comp, but it is extremely, extremely valuable for one reason and one reason only. Regenerates 50% energy to a single ally. I think her ultimate, not just because of the damage percent, that's really, really good and can be very useful, right? Her skill can also be really good for Clara as well. But the main reason why I like Ting Yun for Clara is the 50 energy that you get from this ultimate. Being able to, because you want Clara's ultimate pretty much on 100% uptime, and this allows you to get that. Because the taunt aspect lasts for 2 turns, you want to spam it as much as possible, right? You want to try to get it every 2 turns, but also because the enhanced counter, if you go back to look at the ability, Clara's enhanced counter activates on ally attacks as well, right? So if an ally gets attacked, Savarg will counter with the enhanced counter whether Clara gets attacked or not. And that's also really beneficial because it's not a guarantee that Clara is going to get hit. Sometimes your other characters get hit even with March 7's shield, even with the ultimate. When you stack those, they still have a chance to attack somebody else. This allows you to still get that damage off regardless. So I think that's really, really important. So you want to have that ultimate up pretty much as possible. And this ability allows you to get that, as well as Ting Yun has her own ways of getting energy back. Right? She has this passive which she regenerates 5 energy. She has this technique which also can get 50 energy before a battle when you use it. And then you have light cones that can also give Ting Yun some energy back, right? I'm pretty sure there's this one. Yep, whenever the wearer uses attacks or gets hit, it additionally regenerates 4 energy. So there's a bunch of ways that Ting Yun and her light cones can supplement her getting her ultimate back to then be able to use it for Clara as much as possible. And that's pretty much the gist of it. I think Clara is a very good character, but I do think that in order to get the most out of Clara, March 7th and Ting Yun kind of need to be in that team comp. Now, that being said, right, you have this pretty much is like the core team comp of what you want your Clara team to look like. I do feel like this last slot is fairly flexible depending on what content you're doing and what you need. If you don't need healing and you're good with the March 7th shield and you're not doing the hardest content in the game, you can put another carry in there. You can put a Sampo in there to do dot damage. You can put Serval in there for AoE if you need it. You can put Bronya in there to just buff Clara even more. So I feel like this last slot is really flexible, but if you are pushing hard end game content, I feel like you can't get away from using a healer. The downside to that is right now there's only 2 healers in the game, and both healers share a type with either Clara or Ting Yun if you're using Bailu or Natasha. If you have both of them, I would probably say Bailu would be better than Natasha. The reason being is Natasha has a debuff on her skill and March 7th has a debuff on her skill, and I think you'd want to separate those 2 debuffs into 2 different teams. So if you're only running a content with one team, it doesn't really matter. But if you're pushing Forgotten Halls or something, or Memories of Chaos, and you need 2 teams, I feel like having Natasha on one team and March 7th on another team will be very beneficial to kind of spread debuffing around. And in that sense, Bailu would be much more beneficial to this team comp. But there is Luocha coming out as well, who's another healer, and that will give you more type coverage for this team. And I think ultimately that will be the character that you want in that last spot. It'll be a healer that can heal your team when your other characters take damage, as well as give damage of a different typing. And Imaginary is not a very popular typing to have. So I think that will ultimately be the last character that's kind of slots into that last slot. So ultimately, I do think Luocha would be the final piece to this puzzle. I think the full endgame look of this team will be Clara, March 7th, Ting Yun, and Luocha. But like I said, it's not bad if you put Bailu in here or Natasha, or if you're pushing lesser content and you don't need the healer, then just throwing in another damage dealer in here is perfectly fine. I think that'll work pretty much no matter what, because I think Clara, even without having weakness break, she can just brute force most of the content, especially a well-built Clara. But I do think having Luocha in this team comp with the Imaginary typing with the healing will just kind of make this team much more well-rounded. So ultimately, I do think that's where it is. But this is pretty much the team that I've been running with Clara. You got your Natasha for heals, you got your Tingyun for buffing Clara and giving her more ultimate charge, and then you got March 7th to make Clara get attacked more. And that's pretty much it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This is my first time kind of trying to do, like, I guess you can call it like guide content. I'm not really sure what to call this, but let me know if you want to see more of this type of content in the future. And let me know what else you guys want me to talk about. So I'm looking forward to making more content for this game, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.